JB Straubel is up to something new, AP2 owners get a long-awaited feature, and the Unplugged Performance Tesla racing team cannot be stopped. This is Tesla Tidbits episode number 618 for August 31st, 2020. This show is sponsored by my supporter Richard. If you're in the market for a new Tesla, please consider using his referral code. Ask your salesperson to use code Richard174 or go direct to the web link ts.la/Richard174 and pick up a 1,000 miles supercharging credit for your new vehicle. This week starts as we check in on former Tesla CTO JB Straubel, courtesy of EVNX. JB, after leaving the company last year, he apparently went to focus on the startup he founded, Redwood Materials. The company originally started to solve the raw material sourcing issue for large-scale batteries, but has since shifted to recycling used materials. In speaking about the company's goals, JB said, quote, "We need to really appreciate that we need to build a gigafactory in reverse. I'm looking into the future and seeing this freight train coming at us," end quote. He went on to further say, quote, "Forever, the entire market has been dictated by the commodity price of these metals. This is a chance to change that whole equation and to realize material cost savings in a way that short-circuits that industry," end quote. This is exactly why Tesla is working on this technology. It would seem that JB has seen a business opportunity to help many companies toward that same goal. Of course, Tesla could still also take advantage of the company's services, ordering cheaper recycled materials rather than raw materials freshly dug from the earth. Panasonic is already in early on the idea. Last year, they trialed sending 400 pounds of scrap from producing battery cells to Redwood. It apparently went reasonably well, as they have now upped that amount an order of magnitude to 2 tons. The article says that JB hopes to see his company halve the cost of raw materials compared to those coming from mines, helping make EVs far more common than today. Our next story is thanks to the good folks at the Tesla Scope service, alerting us to the new features coming out in software 2020.36. And for those of you with AP2 Plus hardware vehicles, a feature you've long been waiting for has arrived. Your vehicles are now able to read speed limit signs at long last, making Autopilot much more useful on routes that may have incorrect GPS speed limit data. From the release notes, quote, "Speed Assist now leverages your car's cameras to detect speed limit signs to improve the accuracy of speed limit data on local roads. Detected speed limit signs will be displayed in the driving visualization and used to set the associated speed limit warning," end quote. Additionally, in this update, owners will get a chime to alert them to a green light while waiting at a stoplight. Again from the update, quote, "A chime will play when the traffic light you are waiting for turns green. If you are waiting behind another car, the chime will play once the car advances, unless traffic-aware cruise control or auto steer is active. When traffic lights and stop sign control is activated, a chime will play when you can confirm to proceed through a green traffic light," end quote. The feature, however, is not enabled by default, so to enable it, tap Controls, Autopilot, Green Traffic Light Chime. Lastly, the end of the story with Unplugged Performance's Saga at Pikes Peak. When we left them at the end of the week, their Model 3 was busted, and they were hoping to repair the vehicle or retrofit a new one in time to enter a time in this year's competition. Turns out, they were able, and did indeed set a time this year. Unfortunately, they did not meet their goal to break the 10-minute barrier, but even being on the track is a miracle in its own right. The resurrection of the vehicle involved buying another vehicle and basically stripping the parts they needed off of it and loading it onto the wrecked car while they straightened the frame. From their Twitter, quote, "We did it! Randy made it to the top. We came to Pikes Peak to challenge breaking the 10-minute barrier. Before the crash, we were number 9 fastest of the entire field and in near identical times to the Porsche 935. Bent frame and totaled car didn't stop us and we made it to the top," end quote. The Now You Know channel tweeted the results, showing the team finished second overall in the exhibition class, trailing the leader by only a little more than a second. Congratulations to the Unplugged Performance team on an amazing feat. Good luck next year breaking that 10-minute mark. That will do it for today's show. Thanks to all my patrons supporting the show at patreon.com/Tesla Tidbits. And as always, a special shout out to all the super patrons supporting the show at the $10 plus level. They are Ryan Scarborough, Lee Sweet, William Henry Crew III, Dorian Steve Guberman, Ralph and Cheryl Waterhouse, Todd Sullivan, Mitch Long, Zortek LED Canada, Morvan Ogg, Raymond and Deborah Malkowitz, T Sportline, Vicky Kirk, Ricky Johnston, Nathan Garza, Ed Patterman, Sunil Joseph, Joy Rodriguez, and Brad Lettner. If you have feedback for me, the best way to be heard is to tweet at Tesla Tidbits and use the hashtag AskTeslaTidbits if you'd like your question to be considered for the show. Until next time, keep it charged and hit the road.